BeEazyPodcast. I got my guest, Julian. He's a D1 football player, real estate agent, financial guru, digital creator, everything. I'm going to let him introduce himself, man, and we get straight to it.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Julian. Like he said, I'm a real estate agent, ex-Division I football player, personal trainer. I'm into the digital creating as well, just trying to make a name for myself.
That's what's up, man. A little bit about your D1 football, man. What college you going to?
Yeah, so I went to a school called Sacred Heart University, private school out in Connecticut,
Okay.
on the East Coast. As far as getting like exposure and stuff to get into the school was a little tougher. So after high school, I graduated out in California. I went and took an extra year over in New Jersey. So I was in New Jersey for a year.
Damn.
And they just opened some more doors for me to schools out there on the East Coast that they don't usually come out to the West Coast and recruit people out here because, it's a lot of people go out there and they have a culture shock. So it's like they don't want to take a chance and give this kid, tens of thousands of dollars in scholarship if he's not going to be there for that long. And that's kind of what happened to me. So, so.
How was New Jersey?
It was different, man. It was coming from California, it's like out here, you could attest to this, man. It's like, it's slower, it's more chill. People are a little bit more nice compared to like being on the East Coast. Everything's like fast paced and, people got a little bit more attitudes, but it's all out of love. You don't know that if you're not from there, so.
True.
Yeah.
There's some vibes, man. You close to New York. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
them niggas be tripping. Sure. A little bit about football still, though. Have you been playing football all your life?
Yeah, I've been playing. I think I started my first year was when I was 8 years old. I used to beg my mom to put me in, and I don't know, like it was just kind of like a little bit of a weight. She just probably didn't think I was old enough or not ready for it. So I had a neighbor who his dad was a coach, so he was a year older than me. So when I was 8 years old, I played a year up. So I was playing with the big dogs and everything. But yeah, I've been playing since I was 8. So
that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Was there any type of transition that you have playing football that made you actually want to be a personal trainer?
Yeah, so once I stopped playing ball, I kind of took time off from like working out and everything, just kind of get my mental right, seeing what I wanted to do in general. And then I started working out more, and next thing I know, it's like people coming up to me in the gym, they're like, "Oh man, are you a personal trainer? Like, you're big, like da. Like years of work put in from football, transferring over. So after I started, people started talking to me about it. I'm like, maybe I could. And I started working out at a gym at the front desk. And I seen we had some trainers in there, and all of them was, either skinny or like, big boned. So it was like, I looked the part. Why not go out there and, And I already had sales experience from doing other stuff. So
True.
I'm like, let me go out here and see what I can do. So the transition was easy. Took the test, got certified. I just used my background knowledge because I used to, obviously playing football, you have like the top trainers in the world, like training you. That train professional athletes. So you pick up knowledge from that. So just transferring that over to personal training kind of made it an easy transition for me.
Okay, what test did you take?
So me personally, I took the ISSA test.
That ain't easy.
Nah, there's about 4 of them. And that was the one that I had. I got it on like a little discount through my job, but working at the gym, so it was pretty good though.
That's what's up. Hey, bro, I need that secret sauce book. When I first reached out to you, I think I was like at 198. But beforehand, I was like 218, the biggest I ever been in my life. At 5'8", that shit just don't sit right. So I got all the way down to like 198 to 202. I kept going back and forth. I was like, bro, I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
I seen the video on TikTok. I think you was squatting. That shit was hella big. I don't know how many weights it was. That was like, It was like at least about 5 plates.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, let me reach out to this nigga. I reached out to him, got that secret sauce. I came all the way down to 186.
That's good, man. That's extra 12 pounds right there.
Bro, 186, but just like consistent and just like really doing the work. Appreciate you actually extending that for me, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks. I think that was right before I got really into personal training too. So I appreciate you taking the chance and following the plan, man. Shit.
That shit was hard.
Yeah.
There was some shit on there. I was like, oh shit, all right, let me figure this out. But as time progressed, that shit got a little easier.
Yeah.
Now I'm knocking through that shit out. I'm using that still as a ritual.
That's good. Definitely.
Yeah, bro.
Hell yeah.
Any key supplements or anything for people who looking at this right now?
Yeah, so some things that I definitely recommend taking are just things that you already get through food, but just enhancing it through the supplements would be BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, that helps with recovery and all that stuff. creatine. You know, people live and die by it, but I mean, I take it just because it helps. It gives you a little bit extra, you know what I mean, before you start getting into all the like the performance enhancing shit, like steroids and shit. You don't need to do all that. If you reach your peak first, you got to reach your peak first. But so yeah, creatine, BCAAs, and then really just protein, whey, whatever it is. Isolate. Make sure you're getting isolate. All that stuff. Just eat your meals. Whey isolate, so it's like it hits. Then you get more of a concentration of the protein to your muscles, because a lot of stuff that you drink, a lot of protein you drink, you'll see it has like all these grams of protein in it, right?
Yeah.
And it'll be like some crazy amount, like 40 grams. You're not getting all 40 grams to your muscles like that. You know what I mean? Like you'll probably take, I think the most you could take in is like 25 or 30 or something. So the rest of it just kind of distributes to like fat and everything like that. So making sure you're getting a good whey isolate, it'll hit your muscles directly, and it'll be like 25 grams-ish, so.
Let's go. Say I'm a 26-year-old, 230-pound guy, and I'm trying to lose weight. What would be some recommendations that you should start?
Yeah, so the biggest thing, a lot of people think that just eating healthier is gonna like help you lose weight. Like you will lose fat eating healthier for sure. The biggest way to lose weight is gonna be lowering your calorie intake. So if you're eating like 4 meals a day and it's all healthy stuff, you're still ingesting or digesting hella calories. So it's like if you're not burning off more calories than you're like normally intaking. So for example, me normally I would eat probably 25 to 3,000 calories. That's just to maintain my weight. So if I wanted to lose weight, I gotta lower the calorie intake. So maybe I cut down on a meal, cut down the snacks. Now I'm eating like 1,500 calories, and I'm going to the gym burning off like 500 calories right there. So like in turn, you'll see, you'll notice a change in your body. You're losing weight. Your stomach's gonna shrink in turn, so you're not gonna be as hungry all the time. At first it's terrible, but in the long run, it helps out. I know me personally, I was 235 a couple weeks ago, and I lowered my calorie intake. I'm at like 220 right now, 222. So it speaks for itself, you know what I mean? Just lowering your calorie intake and just working out as much as you can.
Okay. Do the sauna rooms actually work?
Yeah, so a lot of your weight too is water weight.
Right.
So the sauna, you get in there, you're making a sweat, like it's sweating all that water weight out. So, you know, water can bloat you a lot, like you'll feel bloated. It does a lot of things just as far as like bodily weight as well. So if you're in the sauna sweating it out, it's gonna in turn help out in the long run, definitely. So.
Okay, man. Man, I appreciate you for actually explaining that, because a lot of people, they be stuck, man, when they go to the gym, they just want to do treadmills.
Yeah.
And actually think it's working.
Yeah.
Say if I'm a female, right, and I'm trying to actually gain muscle, and say she's around 145. What would be some steps that you would tell her to actually gain muscle?
Yeah, so one thing as far as gaining muscle, this goes for males and females, but females, I know they like to, you know, they want to put it in the right spots. So it's like, you want to bulk, but you don't want to bulk to a sense of like, okay, you out there eating like 3 Chick-fil-A meals a day, you know what I mean? You don't want to do all that shit. So I recommend women, they'll hit legs 3 days a week, right? And that's good, like you need to do that. Like glute focus or whatever, like if you want to grow muscle, you got to hit it multiple times a week to maximize the growth. You want to get in the kitchen and you want to like increase your calorie intake. Yeah, I mean, you want to increase how much you're eating because you want to get bigger, you want to bulk up, so you want to increase the amount of protein shakes you're drinking every day, increase your dinner, breakfast, and lunch, but making sure it's healthy shit. It's not just, like I said, Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out. Like, yeah, it's weight, you're going to put on weight, but in turn, you're not going to have the figure you want. You know what I mean? So for a good figure, get in the kitchen, ground turkey, lean ground beef, chicken, stuff like that, and then vegetables for sure. So.
Man, he helping y'all out 2023 summer.
Yeah, I got to, man. Shit.
Because there's some crazy ones out here, man. There's definitely some crazy ones.
Yeah.
Working out, have anyone ever came up to you in the gym like, hey, bro, I seen you on TikTok?
Yeah, man, a couple of times. In life in general, man. Like, I remember, actually last weekend, it was me and my boy, because he's on TikTok too, so we were just kicking it. We went to this coffee shop right behind my crib. And we're in line, and like whenever we walk in, like just being a young light-skinned man, you just see eyes gravitate towards you naturally, right? So we walked in and we just seen like it was packed. We seen hella eyes. I'm like, okay, whatever. Everybody went about their day. We're in line, and this dude comes up stuttering. He's like, hey man, I seen you on TikTok. He was like, I think I seen you too. He was like, what's going on? He introduced himself, man. I feel like, you know, I don't got that much of a following, but it was enough to make me feel like, damn, I might be doing something right now. You know what I mean? So. In the gym, definitely, and in public in general, yeah.
That's dope as shit, man. If y'all don't know, man, go follow his TikTok, man.
Hey, get like Juju, man. GETLIKEJUJU, man. Follow that.
Did you just start it during COVID, or was it like, I'm just finna just say fucking and just post some videos on TikTok?
Yeah, I didn't even have one during COVID, to be honest. I think I started this back in March this past year, so.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and then I started taking it serious in like June. I started off just doing like the trends, like the funny shit, like you'll post like some sounds and stuff. And then eventually I started talking shit on there. I just started like just saying some funny shit, whatever. Videos started blowing. And then that's just how it happened. It's crazy how it happened, but yeah.
Man, that shit really gonna come with some income.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, I already got a little something off of it on a daily, but it's not too much, not enough for me to like sit here and brag about, but you can see it, start to form. But
yeah, they do the same thing on Instagram too. Now you paying people for reels.
Yeah, I know my barber said the same thing. They had reached out to him about paying for like reels and shit. So
I'm up like $171.
That's good, man. Shit.
It took like 4-5 months, but hey, it worked out.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when people being digital creators, they just gotta create. My homie Albert, shout out here at the Critical Podcast. Basically, when he told me, just like, bro, you just got to put out content, content, and something gonna stick. Man, ever since then, I just been putting out content, bro. Like, even if it's some shit that doesn't even fucking matter, or it's just some funny shit, it's content.
Yeah.
I just feel like you just got to get out there.
Yeah, just keep posting. That's how it happens. I know I got a lot of people that say the same thing, because I talk to some people who are like pretty popular on those platforms. They'll even post it on their own thing. They're like, as they're posting content, they're like, all you gotta do is just post content. And you know what I mean? So
it's gonna take off hella quick.
Yeah, for sure. And it'd be the videos you don't expect to blow. Like,
facts.
It'd be like, you make a video, you cleaning the house, and that shit'll hit like 1 million views or some shit. You know what I mean?
I be seeing weird shit, like videos, like they basically starting some shit, but they don't finish the video, and they got like 4 million views.
Man, they're like, want a part 2 and everything, so now you're already up 2 videos off of one idea.
Fucking screwdriver inside the door, like, it's weird.
So that's how that happens. That's what I'm kind of trying to figure out right now is, like, I'm trying to find myself like a niche, like what I really want to post about, you know what I mean? That's the hardest part. But as of now, like, I'm all over the place. Like, it'll be some fitness videos, it'll be videos of me just talking shit about something, videos of me like venting, telling stories and shit. And yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out. So
that's what's up. I know that you're pretty good at real estate as well.
Yeah, so I got into real estate last December. I started it full time in March 22, and I sold a couple houses. Sold a couple. I was part of a team. And then I kind of fell off a little bit, just with life stuff. Life happens, but I'm still going strong in it. Had some sales, had helped people buy houses. I'm going back to school, so once I'm graduated, I'll be more full time in it. But yeah, it's been pretty decent.
I get my first house, I'm gonna actually reach out to you.
Yeah, man.
And we're gonna make a podcast about it.
Hell yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
That's how it goes. Yeah, I know. I learned a lot of shit, and I learned a lot of shit about life and a lot of shit just about sales and real estate in general, getting into actual real estate and everything. So
that's what's up. For the people at home right now, can you tell the difference between a buyer's market and a seller's market?
Yeah, so a seller's market is a market in which there's not a lot of homes for sale and there's a lot of people looking to buy. So this past year, we were definitely in a seller's market. I know towards the end of June, beginning of July, and so on, it's actually started to shift. So to get into some real estate terms right now, a seller's market is going to have an inventory of less than 3 months. So there's less than 3 months supply of homes on the market for sale, which means that there's a lot more people looking to buy a home than there is looking to sell. You get into a neutral market when it's between, I want to say, like 3 to 4 months supply, or 2 to 3 months supply. And then the buyer's market is when there's an excess amount. So I think it's like 6 months and plus, or 3 months and plus, something like that. That means there's a lot of homes for sale, not a lot of people looking to buy. So that's what we kind of got into, like July, August, September. Everybody hopped on late. They were like, oh, my house is gonna go for, it's normally a $600,000 house. My house is gonna go for $900K.
Oh.
But when they hopped in August, they got humbled real quick because they realized they missed the boat. Definitely, if you're looking to buy, you want to get it when the market's hot. So you want to get in when there's multiple months of inventory on the market. If you want to sell, you want to get in when there's less than like I want to say 2 or 3 months supply. So
Currently, right now, is it a seller market or a buyer's market that we're in?
currently, it's a buyer's market. Yeah, we're in that buyer's market right now. I know I had a home for sale. They hopped on the boat late. They had high expectations, and they were, obviously humbled real quick. They had their home listed at mid 600s, and they listed it in September. Currently, right now, it's not on the market, or it's not. I don't have it on the market right now, but currently, I want to say like less than 600. You know what I mean? So it's a big house, but yeah, it's definitely a buyer's market now. So buyers are a lot more picky. They have a lot of options to choose from. They don't have to settle for the terms and shit that you would normally in a contract in the seller's market. So
Okay. For the person at home right now, what's the first step of buying a house, and what credit score that you might need in Sacramento or California?
yeah, so the first step in buying a house, I would recommend reaching out to a real estate professional, such as like myself, a real estate agent, and then they'll guide you from there. If you just go straight to a lender, which is obviously they have the home loans for you, you could get a little confused. My job specifically, I'm here to guide you through the whole process. So find somebody like me, a real estate agent, realtor, whatever you want to say. Reach out to one of us or reach out to me, and we'll put you on the right path, hook you up with the best lenders to get you the best loan, the best rates, all that good stuff. And yeah, current credit score that you would need in California, you can get pre-approved with some lenders as low as 580.
Okay.
What I would recommend is your credit score be like 650 plus for sure. But I mean 620s work as well. It just depends on your income and your debt to income ratio, stuff like that. But yeah.
Say if my grandma left me a house and I want to sell it, what should I do?
Reach out to a real estate specialist, so I would help you out, and then we would just take the current steps on getting it market ready. So that means any updates that you would need for the house, we can get it updated to maximize the potential of the money you can get. Like if there's cabinets that are broken that need to be fixed, we'll get that stuff fixed. Flooring that would need to be changed, we'll get it changed out. If it makes sense price wise, like if it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg to fix it just to put it up, it wouldn't matter really. It would just rather lower the price rather than doing all that work. Getting it cleaned up, getting pictures taken, signs posted, the proper marketing techniques, getting it on the websites, making sure everything's good and ready to go. Inspections as well, so when people come through, they can't really complain about shit. You know what I mean?
All right.
Like I said, it's a buyer's market, so buyers definitely come through and they nitpick everything. If it's not perfect, they're not gonna buy it. You know what I mean? So,
have you seen somebody renovate their house and they actually don't want to sell it no more?
nah, not personally. I know that probably does happen. A lot of people, they see what they have and they're like, this is old, this is shitty. Like I don't want to really deal with it. And then they want to maximize the potential amount of money they can get. So now they got to flip the house, right? So then they start to see it. They're like, oh, this is damn near, it's a mansion. Like I can fuck with it. Like this is damn near a brand new house. But I'm sure that happens a lot. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Only reason I think that because I be watching these fucking shows on YouTube and A&E, home improvement shows.
Yeah.
And they be doing the flip ups. And I think she had scored like 45,000 on the house.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to. I was like, damn.
Yeah, you might as well at that point. So you probably put like an overhead shower that rains down from the ceiling.
It was nice, man. They knocked the wall out. They put add a kitchen in the back, some shit I didn't even think about, man.
Yeah.
I know that you're a financial guru damn there, man. You learn a lot of different things. You read a lot of books. What are some books that help you out during life?
The biggest one, like you'll hear this a lot, is Rich Dad Poor Dad.
I read that too.
That's the biggest one. That teaches you all kinds of stuff, like investing wise, just all kinds of shit. And that's like, when I first got into it, I had a real estate mentor. I first got into finance, because you got to learn to balance your finances when you're an entrepreneur and you're making this money. So I'm like, what should I invest my money in? He's like, first and foremost, invest it in yourself. Read books. And that was one of the books, that was the number one book he said. And then whenever you look up on YouTube, like, oh, how do I make money? Like, how do I do this? How to be rich? Shit like that.
Right.
You'll see that book's the first one to come up. So.
Sure.
Definitely recommend that one. Even if you just read a summary of it, or if you just get like a breakdown online or an audiobook, it's still worth the listen, worth the read. So
yeah, definitely. I read that book as well, man. It definitely taught me a lot of different things, assets and liabilities and shit like that. Yeah. I had a couple of liabilities. I was like, fuck, let me just figure this shit out.
You don't even realize it, man. It's like you start looking at, you go through your whole financial account, you're looking at, damn, Netflix is $10, $20. this car wash subscription is $20. Next thing you know, you just cut out like $200 worth of shit in one month. So it's like, you know,
the Hulu, ESPN, HBO, all that shit. But it's cool now, you know. Got them niggas off my back.
Yeah. And then you start that in turn just helps you in life in general, because like, okay, I had cable or I paid for these subscriptions for these like shows and channels and shit, and it's like I could be doing something better with my time. So that's really how another reason I got into fitness. I'd be in the gym like 2 to 3 hours a day, like, because like that time would be time that I would be watching TV. So it's like I could be working on my physical being instead of sitting here like frying my brain and shit. So once you get to like the way you want your body to look, you can start taking the pump cover off. You got a tank top on, this gym shorties running around and shit. You get to show off a little bit. So
what's the difference between leasing a car and actually owning a car?
Yeah, no, for sure. That's actually a good ass question. I like to school a lot of people on this. I would say this is for the crowd that's not married, 24/7, like kids on deck, like around that, you know what I'm saying? So if you're single or whatever the case, right, you're moving around a lot, you're young, you know, you don't got no real financial or any other responsibilities, I would definitely recommend leasing versus buying, simply for the fact of non-commitment. Because I don't know, a lot of people don't know this. A car is an asset, but it's a liability in a sense. So if I were to go buy a car right now, like right now I got a 22 Honda Accord. If I were to buy that car, that shit would have put me I'd be in debt like $32,000 with a shitty interest rate, like terrible interest rate. And that's some shit that if I were to go turn around and sell that car, I would be underneath because it's not worth what I bought it for, if that makes sense. So I bought it for 32. Let's say I took it off the lot and now it's worth 28. Now I'm already $4,000 in debt if I were to go sell it today. You know what I mean? So leasing, you pretty much own this car without really owning this car. So if you couldn't make the payments, you couldn't afford, $500 a month, $400 a month, you could turn it back in. Yeah, there's like a little bit of a fee, but it's nothing compared to being, $32,000 in debt. This is just for those people that like, you don't want to commit to something, I know people like to upgrade their shit every so often. So me personally, I had bought a 21, or I had leased a 21 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago. And then I was like, I want something new. So went back, traded that lease in, got this new lease. And it's kind of the factor of like, if I wanted to go get a Hellcat tomorrow, go lease a Hellcat, I could trade this in and go do that. If I wanted to get a Hellcat and I had bought this car, you know what I mean? How am I gonna do that? I could trade it over, but now it's putting me more in debt.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're one of those people that just likes change, likes new shit, likes to upgrade, and doesn't want to really put yourself in a hole, I would definitely recommend leasing the car, for sure.
A lot of people in college, 18, 19-year-old, all they want to do is just buy a car.
Yeah.
Right now, leasing will definitely up them out.
Yeah.
And they be sitting nice.
Yeah, nah, for sure. You get the nicest shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you probably have the same monthly payment leasing 22, let's just say Scat Pack or something, as you would buying a 2018, you know what I mean? And it's newer. So it's like, if the monthly payment's the same, you're not in debt, and you got a nicer car, why wouldn't you do it? You know what I mean? Like, it only makes sense. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. People are just infatuated. I think it's the mindset behind buying something and owning it. Like, they think when you're leasing, you're renting it. You're not. You could do whatever you want to the car. You know what I mean? Because at the end of your lease term, you have the option to transfer it over to a buy. You know what I mean? It's still your car. And any like modifications you do to that car, it increases the value of it. If I went and tinted the windows all black, that's increasing the value. Like, people always have tinted windows. You know what I mean? If I went and changed the rims out, like, that's increasing the value. You know what I mean? Because if you give that shit back to the dealership, they gonna up the price on that shit for sure. You know what I mean?
That's an asset.
It's an asset for real.
That's crazy. Buying a car is a liability, but getting a lease is an asset if you upgrade.
Potentially, for sure. Yeah, potentially. Whatever you do to the car after you lease it, you're all in right to do it. You know what I mean? And as soon as you give it back, they're about to just turn around and flip it. Probably for the same amount that they had it on the market for.
Right.
Or maybe even a little bit more. But, I mean, that's just how it is.
Have you ever thought about being a financial trader? Because you're pretty good at explaining stuff and actually getting to the point.
Yeah, man.
I think you'll be good at that, bro.
Yeah. That'd be some clean shit. Yeah, I could drop some tips and everything on there. Like, a lot of stuff that people don't know. And, that'll be fine. Because I don't really know anybody that really breaks it down and really explains to you, for people that don't want to sit through like a 30-minute video on,
True.
what this does and everything. People like to hear shit quick, so I might think about that, definitely.
Post it on TikTok. It's going to go viral tomorrow, you know. Just let them know it's BeEazyPodcast.
Yeah.
Talked about it first, man.
Hell yeah. I got the idea from BeEazy, man. Shit.
Hey, any last tips or any gems you want to give the people before we head out?
Yeah, definitely. I want to kind of touch back on the topic of not being afraid to do shit. Just post the content. You know what I mean? Post the content. Don't be afraid to make a move. Live life like you only got one, because you really only got one. Like a lot of people are scared of doing shit, so they be in the house all day watching TV, bundled up, just, you know, living a comfortable life when they're, you know, really not mentally comfortable. So, you know, don't be scared to take risks, man. You only got one of these, so.
True. And I appreciate you for stopping through, even in the rain, man. Mm-hmm. You're a stand-up guy. For the people who want to get more information about you, can you shout out your Instagram and your TikTok as well again?
Yeah, for sure. My IG is going to be Juliancleslie, Juliancleslie. And the TikTok is going to be Get Like Juju. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, man.